he does have historically a very complex relation with women, and of course class again is crucial, even more complex when it's a fellow artist like Mary Cassatt, for example, whom he obviously admired, whose work he thought was really, really strong, really powerful, and yet represented her in ways which are complex, which are ambivalent. They don't celebrate her as an artist. He can hardly be described as having a great number of close female friends. And clearly he didn't have long-term relations with women either, although he may well have had prostitutes himself. Certainly some art historians argue that he did so. And he was clearly very familiar with life in the brothel, which one has to assume is actually from direct experience. But he was not someone for whom anything but art was really crucial.
I said to Renoir, "I've heard Lautrec compared with Degas." "Ridiculous," he said. "Lautrec did some very fine posters, but that's about all. Just compare their paintings of coquettes. Why, they're worlds apart. Lautrec just painted a prostitute, while Degas painted all prostitutes rolled into one. Lautrec's prostitutes are vicious, Degas never. While others paint a bawdy house, the result is usually pornographic, always sad to the point of despair. Degas is the only painter who can combine a certain joyousness, that chaste, half-religious side, which makes his work so great. It is at its best when he paints those poor girls."
For someone who wants to focus in the kind of obsessional way that Degas focused, having a housemaid, a housekeeper, like Zoe, was the perfect answer. She served all the needs of a wife without the sex and without, having to take any notice of her as a wife. Effectively, all the women, apart from the ones he had relationships with socially, were women he paid, whether it was models, whether it was Zoe, his housekeeper, for anything. It was a paid relationship, so he knew where he stood and had control in that situation. His relations with women were much more complex, much more difficult with women of his own class. However considered his relationship with Cassatt was, it was nevertheless at arm's length.